Hi there, Casey Durango here. Again, technical difficulties, and I don't know whether I've put out the right link or not, and I don't know whether anyone is here. My name is Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, but today I'm not talking about the protocol or anything like that. I want to talk about how we're all doing. We live in very interesting times, right? And how do we get through that? We get through it by getting through it, which sounds simplistic. But hey, Jen, I'm glad you're here. So, what do we do? I mean, we are living not truly in unprecedented times. The world has experienced pandemics before. About 100 years ago, almost exactly 100 years ago, the Spanish influenza pandemic. There are several differences. One is we know much more about everything that's going on right now, which is a blessing and a curse. If we know more, we can be better prepared. If we know more, we can freak out. So let's try not to freak out. We as individuals, all of us, if you're old enough to be watching this video, you've been through some things, personal tragedies and challenges, things that we didn't think there would ever be another day to laugh, that we were heartbroken or devastated. We have buried loved ones. We have been brokenhearted. We have endured dramatic and frightening medical diagnoses and gone through medical procedures, some of which seemed medieval. We have been bankrupt. We have been forced to move when we didn't want to. We've raised children whom we loved, and sometimes we find that they're a little ungrateful, which can happen. Now I'm not talking about my kids. They are very nearly perfect. But we have all been through things. So as people, we've been through things. As communities, we've been through things. We've seen our community, some of them devastated by hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, floods. I'm sure someone's been devastated by pestilence, but it's biblical. The things that some of our communities have been through, flattened out, and we made it through it. Our country, the United States, has been through so much. And of course, this is not a United States issue. It's not a Chinese virus either, by the way. That's just tacky. It's simply originated, as far as anyone knows, there. Some countries have been living horror stories for decades. The point is, we will get through this. We've gotten through things before. Think of all the noble quotes we've heard through history. We have nothing to fear but fear itself. And believe it or not, keep calm and carry on was actually a cry of encouragement from a British leader before it was a napkin, where people substitute the word bacon. The serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to change the things I can, to accept the things I cannot change, and the wisdom to know the difference. So through all of this, we need to remind ourselves, things have been rough before, not even 20 years ago. 9/11. 20 years before that, stock market crash. 20 years before that, Martin Luther King, Robert Kennedy assassinated, Vietnam going on. As I was coming into adolescence, I remember on the nightly news, the sound of helicopters and seeing gurneys body carriers being pulled off of the helicopters in the marshlands of Southeast Asia. And of course, before that, World War II, and of course, before that, World War I, and of course, in between, the Great Depression. We've gotten through it. We will get through this. What do I plan to do? I plan to keep doing what I've been doing, taking care of myself, checking in on the people whom I love, and our kids are checking in on us, and we're planning a video group session together because, they have young children, schools being called off. Everyone has the challenge. I feel so deeply for those who are impacted financially in this. Those people who can afford it the least are in the industries that are shuttering. So let's do this. Let's not panic. Let's not hoard. Let's not fall into paranoia or conspiracies. Let's take a step back. Let's take a deep breath. Let's take care of ourselves, and let's take care of those around us. Nobody knows what's going to happen, of course. What we do know is that this will end. And hopefully lessons will have been learned. People's better angels will have popped out. Hopefully. There's some are just going to be jackasses no matter what. Let's face it. On a very good day with everything going well, they're just jerks. So there will always be that. But most people are not jerks. I will say this. I do not plan. I'm not even tempted to do so because I've been doing this for so long. I don't plan to say, well, everything's fallen to pieces and I'm stressed out, so I'm going to just stock up on the Doritos and eat them all. I'm not going to do that. Everyone needs to do what they wish. But let's see this. If substitute the word scotch if someone is in recovery, or Vicodin if someone is addicted to opioids. We wouldn't want those people that are saying, I'm so stressed out. All I need, I know I've been in recovery for a year and a half, but really, I just need a scotch right now. Or I know I've been off the prescription drugs that were doing me in, but I'm really stressed. So I just want some Vicodin. So let's look at food that doesn't serve us very well. I'm just not going to do it. Not only that, but I want my defenses to be strong. I want my physical and my emotional and my mental defenses to be strong. So I'm going to do those things which help that goal. I don't want to do things that start undermining my immune system or my not self-worth, how do I feel? Self-confidence. How good I feel about myself. I don't want to undermine that. All we need to do is take a step back, take a deep breath, take care of ourselves, and take care of the people we love. Let's remember that. This will pass, however it's going to pass. There will be people that will die. Most people won't. Particularly if we continue to but follow the guidelines of just, when we think about it, so many things in life are so simple and we complicate them. I'm not going to go into all that because this is not a talk about the protocol and all that. This is about managing life. Ironically, my live stream on Saturday was about, life keeps happening. And now it's really happened in the last several days. But what is so simple about this is wash your hands a whole lot. Keep a little bit of distance. You don't have to stay a quarter of a mile, to the next human being. Wash down surfaces that you touch. Use some Common sense, basic practices. You don't have to have hand sanitizer. FYI, hand sanitizer has not been around for 100 years. It's, like a new thing. Soap and water. Wash your hands. I've just gotten a little text in from the wonderful Amy Berger. Amy, are you in the room? Maybe not. By the way, Amy and I, we're going through with this is a wonderful way to keep a social distance. We're having our Wednesday wine day tonight, but I'm not here to give a commercial about that. But we're at 8:30 tonight. You can find it if you Google that. I'm going to turn some attention because I was going to make an old school video, but I thought, no, I actually want to hear from people. I just felt compelled to remind myself, if nothing else, we've been through things before. We'll be through things again. It does put things in perspective, though, doesn't it? Doesn't it make worrying about what face cream a particular celebrity is hawking, doesn't it kind of make that seem, well, who really cares? So it does help put things in perspective. So I'm going to turn my questions to the group. Hey, Annie. Hey, Annie's a member of the club. You can join this channel, but again, not a commercial for this. So Jen writes, thank you for checking in with all of us. I actually want to do that. I'm kind of isolated anyway. I work from my home and have done for now a year and a half. So I'm kind of socially isolated. Not isolated, but this is what I do. But things are so quiet. This is not, I was out walking Jack, my dog. And no school buses are running. And people aren't going hither and thither and to work and back from the store. I mean, it's not a ghost town where I live by any means. But I remembered, after 9/11, they got every airplane out of the sky within about, 2 or 3 hours? And for days, there were no airplanes in the sky. We don't live near the airport, but we live close enough that about 5:15 in the morning, you hear the planes taking off up until about 11:30 at night. If you're listening, you can hear it. And it was so quiet. And you thought, this is the end of the world. What in the world is going on? And it was so sad. And then I remember, I think it was 6 days later, a week later, I was laying in bed at about 5:15. I heard an airplane take off. I was so pleased. As things start to get back to normal, whatever normal is going to be, it bears thinking about. Look back through history, not millennia through history. Look back through the last 100 years and think of everything that's gone on. And some things are still going on. We'll get through this. Hey, Vintage Girls. Big shout out to Casey from the troops at USMC Camp Lejeune and the Vintage Girls. We're all hanging in there. You guys, talk about front lines. Do you guys know if you're going to have any kind of for anything in particular stateside? Ocean Mist Soaps. Hey, honey, I'm going to keto on these trying times, packing and listening. So happy to get notified you were going live. I want to bring something home. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to nourish ourselves in a way that makes us the strongest we can be. And I just heard this morning from a patron who was going to be at Wednesday Wine Day. Wednesday Wine Day is open to the public, but a patron said, I won't make it tonight. My father passed away this morning. Complications from diabetes. Now, here's a woman who has taken charge of her life and in getting better. We need to take care of ourselves every day, not just when there's a pandemic. We need to take care of ourselves. It's not selfish. It's giving. We take care of ourselves so someone doesn't have to later. Hey, Ginny. Hey, Ginny. So good to see you. Help others and choose joy. It's harder some days than others. Let's think of the folks that, who already lived paycheck to paycheck and now there's no paycheck. Let's be kind to each other. We can figure this out. We might have to figure it out ourselves, but we can figure this out, and we can do. And the best we can do is to take care of ourselves. If we're scared of leaving our house, take care of yourself. Step away from the Doritos. Hey, Shane. Says good afternoon. Linda Bridges. Hi from Texas. I'm 74. Afraid to get close to grandchildren. B. Gray. Long time ago, before all this, an MD knew I was traveling a lot, said to me, whatever you do, do not have sugar while you travel. It makes a petri dish of your throat. Interesting. Hey, Jenny. Yes, makes you know what's important. And Deborah says, thank you for this moment of sanity. We all need it, right? I mean, I'm pretty level-headed. I will say this is not freaking me out. It's more making me really sad for the people who one thing are listening to the lesser angels. Don't do that. Lord have mercy. Do not go loaded for bear at the big box store, ready to shoot someone if they have got too much toilet paper. Although I think the stores are getting in front of that. And we're not particularly worried. My husband and I were just saying how lucky we are. One thing, we'll never starve. We've got 17 chickens. And we're getting 16 and 17 eggs a day. So if nothing else, we have eggs. And we might have to learn how to drink our coffee black if we can't get heavy cream. But, my father started drinking coffee black, although he'd had it, light with sugar previous, during World War II, because everything was rationed. We forget that in history. It was rationed. You couldn't just go get sugar and cream and bacon. He had ration books. So he wasn't going to give up his ration tickets for sugar and creamer for his coffee, so he learned to drink it black, and he never went back. He said, after about 2 weeks, I didn't want cream. Hey, Craig, so sorry about your dad. Yeah, I know, Jacqueline. I just didn't want to call your name out. It's Jacqueline's dad who passed. Denise Anderson writes, that's why I love the saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself first, and the rest will fall into place. That's a fantastic saying. I've never heard that before. Shane writes, I work EMS, so I am essential personnel, and I'm not out and about, and I am out and about and seeing the effects, and it is crazy. Take care of yourself, Shane. Ron DeVarn writes, so glad I caught you live. Love your videos. You've changed my way of doing keto, and it's working for me now. That's great. That's wonderful. Hey, Kimmy, are the stores in the United States empty too? Kimmy is in Germany. Kimmy is a patron. Kimmy, I have not been into a retail store in a really long time. My husband said the last time he was at Costco, which was probably about 10 days ago, maybe fewer than that. He said no. They were wiping down all the grocery cart handles, but that was before things really kind of went in. No, not that I've experienced. My husband is still working. As long as his customers, and they're very comfortable, him coming in and out of their homes, he's tearing out bathrooms and stuff. As long as they can afford it, the stock market, yikes. But he's going to Lowe's and Home Depot, so he's just being cautious. He had to go to the DMV yesterday. Eek! Which is dicey on a best day, right? What are they like in Kimmy? Are the stores emptying out? Life Adventures and Keto writes, LOL, my husband said after my grocery haul, did we need coffee? I said, yes, you do, LOL. Hey, Mona, how are you in Turkey? She writes, here in Turkey now we have one dead yesterday from corona, 89-year-old man, unfortunately. I'm 40, never see this kind of worldwide issue till now. This equals all. No one's seen this, Mona. Not since the Spanish flu influenza. I think I'm quoting this right. More people died of the flu in 1918 and than died in World War I. I believe that's correct. So no, this is a once in a century experience as far as this illness. Hey, Gilles, mommy. That's Stacy. I'll tell you what, I do have faith in in the scientists. I don't particularly have faith in the government right now. I don't have faith in nutritionists who are telling us that bacon's going to kill us, but I have faith in the dedicated scientists who are working around the clock to come up with a vaccine, or at least get the tests out there. I do have faith. And once that happens, it'll be boom, bada boom, bada boom. Hey, Sparkle Canada. Do love love your emoticons. Jenny writes, stocked up on cream yesterday as no one else seems to know how great it is. Yeah, people are buying bread and pasta and rice and, kind of leaves the ribeyes and bacon to the rest of us. Yes, Life Adventures in Keto, praying for everyone affected from this pandemic. And it's going to affect all of us in one way. So we have this coffee farm in Colombia. In Colombia, I think they've got 60 cases in the entire country. But the man who lives on with his family and manages our coffee farm said they're shutting everything down. The coffee co-op, they're shutting down the banks. And these are people that a lot of people don't have checking accounts or savings accounts. They have to go to the bank to get cash, to go to the store to buy food. So I hate to say it, we kind of live in a bubble. Many of us, not everyone here is in the United States, but many of us live in a bubble. We don't even have a clue. So yes, let's keep our good thoughts. Keep our good thoughts. Bacon loves me back. I like that. Hey, I like that. Bacon loves me back. I hadn't heard that. Nancy Fennel writes, but I made sure to thank the workers at the store for showing up and keeping everything clean. Their huge smiles made me feel like we can all do this. I don't know about your state. North Carolina, schools are shut down. K through 12 are shut down. And the governor said as of 5 p.m. yesterday, all dining in experiences are canceled. Food delivery and drive-through can be taken. One of our daughters-in-law works in a cafe chain in Durham. They're dine-in only, so she's on furlough. Okay. I'm glad to see so many. Is anyone in dire straits right now? Because I hope you're all fine. It's fantastic to see the way the big store chains, who should be in charge of logistics for the country, I think, are stepping up. We will get through this. Don't panic. Keep calm and keto. No, I didn't mean to say that. Keep calm and carry on. Make use of this time if you are having to stay at home. Take some time to meditate to whoever your higher power is, or whatever your spiritual structure is. Be grateful for what we've got. Be compassionate to those who are without. Don't be greedy. And maybe we can just learn to, maybe this will be the week that, we learn how to do something that we've expected to be presented for us on demand previously. We'll have to learn to fish. Annie writes, it's such a debate to go out or not. I have a hair appointment tomorrow, much waited for. Half of me says to stay at home, but half says to go and keep supporting the business. Well, I need a haircut. And I decided that I was going to just ask my hairdresser, who's been my hairdresser for 30 years, how does she feel? I mean, she's the one up close and personal, touching people's stuff. So I'm going to leave it to her. I'm not concerned. I have the sniffles, and I have a little bit of a sore throat, and I have a little bit of burning behind my eyes, but that's probably allergies. Hey, tomorrow's the first day of spring. Did you know that? Let's look forward. Thanks so much for doing this live session, Casey. Absolutely. I'm glad I went live instead of doing old school. That would have just been me yapping. It's so much better to hear from people. Doing well in the UP, in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Grubhub is waiving delivery fees. All right. Last check. The governor of Texas waived regulations so liquor trucks could not haul groceries. So they could haul groceries? Yeah. Sparkle writes, physically fine. Husband works for produce company. Just got laid off. Sorry. So sorry. Yep. It's a good time to find out how little we need to get by. Right? Our great-grands did it in the Great Depression. Our parents did it, and my parents did it in World War II. That's about the last time there was really great on us as a country. It's not happy for people, but there may be some silver linings as far as some people's attitudes. Yes, can now haul groceries. Good. Yes, and B. Gray, yeah, we have the same thing here in North Carolina. Many stores are setting aside time for those most vulnerable to shop before others. And thank you, Nancy. Okay, that's all I want to do is just check in with you guys and just say, I'm going to say it again. We need to take a breath, take a step back, take care of ourselves, and take care of those around us. Try not to fall into patterns out of stress or worry that we know intellectually will not help us. We know that they won't help us. And if we, like I said, filled in the blanks, instead of saying, I turned to food because I was stressed out, instead of I turned to liquor because I was stressed out, even though I'd been sober for 2 years. I turned to opioids because I was stressed out, even though I'd been on the wagon for 6 months. No, we need to do that which takes care of us. It's not selfish. It's giving. Thank you, guys. Have a good one. And I may see some of you tonight with Amy Berger. Toodaloo, caribou. Mañana, iguana. See you soon, you big baboon. And there's another one I can't remember. Okay, bye.